Hi everyone, in today's video I'm going to be looking into the story of the Slender Man in conjunction with the release of the Slenderman movie. There have been many reported sightings of Slender Man all over the world, and I'm going to be taking a look into where it all started and the cases relating to it. Slender Man has become one of the most famous mythological creatures. According to legend, Slender Man stalks the woods at night, looking for children and looking for teenage girls to abduct. He is said to use the branches of the trees to avoid being spotted. It is unknown as to whether he kills his victims or whether he just takes them to an unknown location, because most of his victims are never seen again. It is said that anybody who has an encounter with the Slender Man will never get over the experience and will have psychological problems for the rest of their lives. Slender Man is said to be inspired by Stephen King's novel The Mist. He is tall, thin and faceless with no features at all. He has no eyes, no mouth, no nose, no ears and no hair. He has many limbs and wears a black suit. He is able to extend his arms and make them shorter whenever needed. He is also said to have tentacles that protrude from his back so that he can snatch away victims. The first depictions of Slender Man actually date way back to 9000 BC. A lot of people online say that it just comes from a guy in 2009, but it doesn't. It goes way back to 9000 BC. There were depictions of Slender Man in caves painted on the walls of the caves. These images depict a small child being led away by a very tall figure. He was later depicted in wood carvings by Hans Fruckenberg. The carving featured a multi-limbed creature that lived in the forest and would snare away young children who would sneak into the forest without their parents' permission. The story then resurfaced in 2009 when a man called Eric Knudsen came up with the idea of creating a creature that looked like Slender Man. He was competing in an online contest where participants had to alter a real photo and make it look very distorted and creepy. And that is how the story resurfaced and became really well known again. The story has actually crossed over from what was believed to be legend into real life, with sightings of him being reported all over the world. It is said that once the Slender Man crosses over into the real world, that the real chaos begins, and there are many reported incidents that are believed to be caused or related to the Slender Man. One of the most disturbing depictions of Slender Man is the Henderson farm incident. The Henderson family owned the farm and land since the mid-1800s. The owners were Ted and Judy Henderson and their 6-year-old daughter Tracy Henderson. On the morning of June the 15th, neighbours had to call the local police, complaining of screams and the sound of gunfire. Sheriff Clint Denterman and 2 deputies visited the property at 8:34 a.m. The horses in the barn were torn apart, just as if they had been attacked by a pack of wild animals. Inside the main house, it is said that blood was found all over the living room, in the kitchen, and in the hallway. Ted was found in the bedroom barricaded behind some furniture, with his wife's dead, lifeless body next to him, killed by a shotgun blast to the chest. Ted still had the weapon in his hands. From Dan Park's report, Ted had a freaked out, far off look in his eyes. We asked what happened and where was his daughter, but he didn't reply, and he didn't even realise that they were in the room. Ted was charged with the murder of his wife, but due to his mental state was sent to Jenkins Mental Hospital. For almost a year and a half, Ted did not speak one word. On the 3rd anniversary of the murder, Dr. Daunton called the sheriff. Ted was speaking. He said, "Skinny fellow suit, looking at me." He said that the man was going to take his wife and his child. His wife had begged him to shoot her. He said that he was able to save his wife by doing this, but that he didn't manage to save his daughter, and his daughter was taken away by the man. Now I'm going to show you the real audio of this interview. This was the first time he ever spoke, and it would be the last time, because only a few hours after he did this interview, he was found dead and he had committed suicide in his room.
Okay, Ted, go ahead. It's on. Am I safe? Yes. You're safe. Now tell me what happened that night. Horses after nothing. Horses. Go on. We went out there. Dead. All dead. The eyes there. No eyes. What did you see? Ran inside. Got the gun. Tracy's crying. Judy's screaming. Ran to them. He had them. Was holding them. Who had them? Skinny fella. Suit. Looking at me. Judy was screaming, "Shoot me! Shoot me! Shoot me! Shoot me!" You shot Judy? Saved her. Saved her. Did you shoot Tracy? No. It went after me. They went after me. Shot them. Keep shooting. Tracy. Let Tracy go. Damn it! Let her go! No.
The body of his daughter was never found, but a photograph was taken about a week before the incident. The photograph shows a tall, thin man standing in front of the barn, and some believe that this is the Slender Man. Years after the incident, the story was still continuing to terrify the local people of Sterling City, California. After the 1986 Sterling City fire, a few photographs were recovered. This included a photo a week earlier on June 1st, 1986. On this day, 14 children went missing, including the photographer Mary Thomas. It is said that the tall figure seen in this photo is responsible for the disappearances. Only 5 months later, the body of one of the children, Joseph Perman, was found in a swamp in Kingston Falls, New Jersey. The detectives investigating the scene said that they didn't think the boy had been dead the whole time, going off of the state of decomposition that his body was in. It looked as if he had been alive for at least 4 months before his actual death. More recently, stories of the Slender Man have started to reappear. In 2014, 2 young girls by the name of Anissa and Morgan believed that the Slender Man was real. They believed that they needed to become servants in order to protect their family. This led them to commit an absolutely terrible crime where they attacked one of their friends with a knife, which left her severely wounded, but she did manage to survive the attacks. Both girls were deemed mentally ill and sentenced to time in jail for intended murder. Another 13-year-old girl attacked her own mother with a knife. She waited in the kitchen for her mother, and she was wearing a white mask. The mother said that her daughter was acting completely out of character to her normal self. Luckily, her mother survived with very little injury. The girl became so obsessed with Slender Man that she even created a whole world in Minecraft centered around the Slender Man. She later confessed to the crime and said that she did it to please the Slender Man. There's yet another story of a 14-year-old girl who set her house on fire and the whole thing burned down. Luckily, all of her family did survive. Some people say don't go into the woods at night, and don't even look into the woods at night, because if you do, Slender Man may make you his next victim and drag you away into oblivion. So there you have it. That is some of the incidents that have happened supposedly because of the Slender Man. I was absolutely fascinated when I was reading about this, and the many documentaries I watched as well. They were all really fascinating and all had a different information, which I've tried to gather and include everything in my short documentary. And I really hope you've enjoyed it. Do you guys think that the Slender Man exists? Have any of you seen the Slender Man? Please do drop a comment and we'll have a chat down there. If you have enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed, then please do consider subscribing. I make a ton of videos just like this one, and I've just been to some really awesome locations that I'm going to be uploading soon to do with some ghost hunting that I've been doing. So do go ahead and subscribe. Please drop a comment also saying creepy if you found this creepy or really interesting. I'd love to have a chat with some of you in the comments and let me know your thoughts and opinions on the Slender Man. I've kind of wanted to do that recently, to do some ghost hunting and stuff, but I'm kind of, I don't know if I will now. I'm kind of scared. I'm a bit of a wuss, to be honest. Like, I love all of this stuff, but I'm quite easily scared, so it's probably not. I think I get myself scared by researching all this. Anyway, thank you so much for watching my video. My name is Samantha, and I will see you next time.